Should get the co-pilot seat. Okay, welcome everybody. I'll call the meeting to order. And first of all, the thing on the agenda is basically a land acknowledgement statement. And any volunteers? Oh, I believe it's my turn.
Augusta Township acknowledges that we live and work on ancestral territories of indigenous people. The township recognizes all indigenous peoples and honors their past, present, and future. The township values and respects their cultural heritage and relationship to the land.
Thank you. Next is Mayor's opening remarks. And tonight we're missing our clerk. Is she online?
No.
Why? Anyway, she's at Blue Mountain Resort, I think, for the clerks conference, and I don't blame her because we put our clerks through a lot. So they're usually involved in everything and get the brunt of everything. And anyway, they carry a good workload, so I respect them. Went to Summer Company. That is, Summer Company is when they get the students, I think they give them $3,000 for the summer to start a business. So there was 5, actually, it was in the paper there a couple of days ago, 5 individuals. There was 2 from Augusta, and they are Carson Knoll, who is doing woodworking for the summer. And the other one is River Irvin, who is it's Prize Pursuit Gaming. So when they introduced themselves, one said he was from Brockville, one said he was from Prescott. And I'm saying to the instructor, I said, okay, where's the Augusta ones? You know, but they live outside the boundaries of Brockville and Prescott. So it just tells me the educational system, what they're teaching on municipal affairs in public schools is nothing. So anyway, confirm that for me. Anyway, we wish the best of luck to both of them and to the other students too. Deputy Mayor and I attended the 661 Air Cadet inspection last Tuesday night. It was at South Grenville District High School. And we've attended the last couple. So it's nice to go to. So anyway, we made our presence. I think we're the only municipal party there, so. And we attended, I believe all of council attended, except for Councillor Bowman, who's still off on sick leave, or medical leave, I should say. As we attended the More Than Just Babysitting open house in Prescott, and it was a nice sunny day. And I thought it went well. So kids had fun, that was the main thing. And no, it was well attended. So anyway, thank you for, I know you were, if not the organizer, if not one of the organizers. So thank you very much, Councillor Andrew. And last but not least, forest training. So as we were just discussing, for council needs, you have had 2 sessions. One, there's a email sent in March, and I believe it was 3 modules you had to complete. The modules are not 5 minutes long. So if you haven't done it, it's a good, I'd say, if I remember correctly, I think it was about an hour and a half on the modules. And then this week we have to do the 5, basically briefings, safety briefings. There's 5 increments of those, and that has to be done before June 13th. So it's pretty easy once you can get on the system. The hardest thing is getting on the system. Anyway, it's done, checked off. So those that have, I know Councillor Bowman's gonna have some problems because they have no Wi-Fi out there or anything. So anyway, we'll have to catch her later on, but as for the rest of these, no excuses. Okay, let's move on to approval of the agenda. So moved by Councillor Pate, seconded by Deputy Mayor Winans, be resolved that the agenda for June 10th be adopted. Does anybody have any additions, changes, anything else? Okay, I see none. Call the question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Might be another short night, folks, the way this is going. So, moved by Deputy Mayor Wyman, seconded by Councilor Pay, be resolved that council approve the minutes of the May 27th, 2024 council meeting as distributed to all members. Does anybody have any changes or additions or anything left out of the minutes you want to bring forward? Okay, I see nothing. I call the question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Does anybody have any disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof? See no hands. Any business arising from the minutes? We have no delegations or presentations tonight. No correspondence, petitions. It goes to reports and county's report. Oh, short and sweet. We had a joint services meeting. It must be one of the, probably the fastest one I've ever, it was 45 minutes, bang, it was done. So those are the meetings I like. So and then we had a committee of the whole where we just gave basically budget updates. And Eorn gave and I was gonna bring it tonight and I forgot. So I'll try to remember and bring it in and put it in your mailboxes, but it's a cell gap update. So if you're interested in that. And then it was a couple of weeks ago, I believe, all the mayors went on a bus tour of Granville County. We were going to do Leeds County, basically, I think the end of June. So we did Granville County. We came up through, did a few sites in Brockville, and then came up through Augusta, Prescott. We touched in Cardinal, and then we went to Merrickville and Kemple, and kind of Elizabethtown, Kidley, went through there. So what we did is we stopped at some of the assets. It was a chance to see some of the assets there, like for example, like the Public Works Garage, I think it was Elizabethtown, Kidley, or North Granville one, I can't remember, but they wanted paving done, you know, so that's part of our budget. So I think we turned it down this year, but at least it gives us an idea, you know, why they want it, that sort of thing. We can relate to it. Pictures, that works. So, anyway, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad tour. So I certainly pointed out two things. Condition of County Road 2, from Brockville to Prescott. And I got my point across there. They need paved shoulders there. And so I stressed that. And the other thing, we talked about Blue Church Road, and I just kind of gave them a little bit of information on Blue Church Road. But that was about it. So, but as you can see, every mayor has bad roads, so it's going to be a struggle to get the funds just to do that, because of, you know, a lot of the money's going right now at Highway 43. So, okay, that's it for counties. Unless anybody has any questions. And
Just one question on the area ag review that came up.
oh yes,
They postponed it, did they, or
yes, they postponed it.
indefinitely, or did they set a timeline?
Well, we don't know until the minutes come out, but what I heard is till November, October, November. So I think what's gotta happen is there's two townships that are really concerned about it. And I think it was pointed out, the mayors are sticking together. So look after those two townships. So again, I think it's best that, you know, possibly, and it was suggested that planning sit down with the two townships and figure it out. And everybody else will be on board. So, but I don't know if they're gonna do that. So.
Yeah.
Anyway. Good point. Good point. Okay, next is conservation areas.
Yeah, Melissa and myself, we, excuse me, we attended an information session for Rideau Valley in Perth on Friday, and it was a good session. It was well presented. One of the things they brought up, and that is on the wetland mapping, they're going to have public consultation, but they brought up the point, because Mayor Burrows was there, And he asked if everybody was gonna get a letter like they did with the area ag review, and they said, no, absolutely not, because for Rideau Valley, there'd be about 30,000 letters they would have to send out. For South Nation, they would have to send out about 20,000. So they said that just staff time and expense, that just wouldn't happen. So it's up, they're gonna have 6 different public meetings where people can come and see. They're coming to our federation meeting this Thursday, and it's up to the residents to look at the map and see whether they have a concern. Both Rideau Valley and South Nation said, if it's not wetlands, we'll take it off the map. There's no problems. So that's pretty much the thing for both conservation authorities, what they're working on.
Okay, good. Any questions, comments?
Just one question. So the mapping, will they share that with the lower tiers that we can even get it on our website and get some information in?
Yeah,
Is that the plan?
they'll share that mapping with Melissa.
Is that something that we can get out on our website or, even the next, even the quarterly or something, put a link to it or something like that just to get the
Well, it's gotta
information?
be done by July,
Oh, okay, by July.
sometime in July. Yeah, there's kind of a short timeline the province gave.
Okay,
So, I don't know, Melissa, did you give the times to Vicky?
No, not yet. Yeah, because that was just Friday, but yeah, there is some public consultation sessions, and they have some social media wording they can provide us to advertise it on our Facebook page and website, but probably not in time for the next quarterly,
No,
but we
okay,
can
that's
definitely get the word out there of those sessions.
yeah, I'm just thinking, because what they're, residents are gonna navigate to the township before they do conservation authorities, right? So just to make sure.
But the other big change is that they've cut the setback from 120 meters to 30 meters. So even though they're regulating more wetlands, the area that they're regulating is probably less, and you don't want to build in a wetland anyway.
No, exactly.
Good, anything else? That's it? Okay. No questions? Thank you. Recreation. Does anybody want to start off? Yes.
I had a meeting with North Augusta, and they've changed their meetings from Tuesday to Thursday, and also changed it to 5 from 7. So I had an email from Shannon, but I didn't get it till I got home. Ball and soccer is going good. It's both busy. They did have a concern about the grass cutting because with the wet weather, the grass wasn't cut on time. And so Amy just wants to know who's doing it so they can coordinate when there is no game to have the grass cut when the weather cooperates. So, and they thought they had a leak, but I guess there is no leak. It's just the way the floor was, it looked wet. So I guess it's been rechecked out.
Somebody touched it, said, it's not wet.
I don't know. They said it looked wet. They thought it was leaking in the same spot, but Shannon said it wasn't, so. And, the other thing for North Augusta Rec, something that you may have to address, on the side where the handicap walk in, there's no ice guard for the roof. So if you get a pile of snow, it's gonna come right down. That little tiny thing isn't gonna protect anybody that's walking in a wheelchair.
That's on the west side?
It's on the south side.
Is that side?
Yeah, they've got an ice guard on the other side.
Okay.
One, but that's there should be 2, because that's a
Supposed to be
real
that
long
contract.
slope.
What was the the one good one that was there is supposed to be replaced? Sorry, taken and put back on the good one, and then a new one on the leaky side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So there should have been one in that contract, yes.
And then they also wanted to know about the piles of dirt that are left. Is that Tackleberry's gonna clean that up, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll take care of it.
And Friday is your grass cutting day.
Yeah, and the grass. It's rained for the last 6
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, so that was a problem this weekend, sorry, that was a problem this weekend. And they were at the soccer field, they had a couple of rips left to do the soccer field, and the skies opened up. So that's why the ball diamond did not get cut, but it got cut this morning. Looks good this morning.
No, it's just Amy wanted to know, because there's no sense of guy coming out if there's a game on.
Yeah.
So, just.
They're Friday during the day, yep.
Okay, any other questions? Any other reports? No? Okay. Oh, I just want to make a note to Councillor Henry, you mentioned her name, which is just
Kathy
retired.
Jobin.
Kathy Jodwin, thank you. So Kathy has just sent an email out. She's a longtime volunteer, over 25 years. And anyway, she just got to the point where she just can't, with things in her life, needs more time at home, I guess. So anyway, so I know they're trying to find another volunteer. So, we should maybe make a special recognition to those people that serve a long time, like over 25 years or something, when it comes to our volunteer night, maybe.
Your worship, there is provincial designations you can get for long-term volunteers.
Yeah.
I was looking into that as well.
Ontario
Maybe do
volunteer.
3 with both governments and us.
Okay.
They've lost them.
Okay, let's move on. We'll have the library board. I don't think there's anything there because, Economic Development and Tourism Committee, Councillor Henry.
Through your worship, I wasn't able to attend the last meeting, but just a reminder about the business of the year is November 1st. I believe Vicky was going to start posting on Facebook this week, so you can start nominating, and they're due by October 11th.
Okay, thank you. PAC, we had a PAC meeting last week.
Yeah, so we did have a PAC meeting, but just before PAC,
Sorry.
I do have something to pass on to the library board, and that is they are starting their reading club, and parents can go in now and pick up their stickers and books. And then at the end of the summer, there'll be a bit of a prize or a contest or something. So that's what the library is running on now. Forgot to mention that. I did mention that on my talk show on the radio.
Can we go to 4S? Can we get them to do 4S?
Maybe. For the PAC report, we had 2 severances. They all both look good. One's on my road and one's
Blue Church Road.
Blue Church, yeah, and the other one's on Blue Church. And that's for Robinsons. And then we also had a closed session. So that's all there's to report on our,
Okay.
unless Melissa wants to go further into that.
Through your worship, just, so the township has commenced the official plan review steering committee, so that's what that closed session was about. The committee was directed by council to review the RFPs, and they did that at the meeting. The process is still ongoing, but we are expecting a report to council at the next meeting with a recommendation.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, Police Services Board. I have a resolution here. So moved by Councillor Pate, seconded by Deputy Mayor Winans. Whereas the newly formed South Grenville OPP Detachment Board shall consist of 3 community appointees, and whereas the selection committee has met and recommends Glenn Mackey be appointed as one of the 3 community members, and whereas Glenn Mackey served as the community member on the Augusta Police Services Board, and whereas Glenn Mackey has expressed interest in filling the position on South Grenville OPP Detachment Board. Now be it resolved that council appoint Glenn Mackey as a community member of the South Grenville OPP Detachment Board. Does anybody have any discussion on that? He's been on the board for the last 3 or 4 years, if not longer, and he's well informed about this whole area, in fact, about the OPP, so I think it's a good choice.
That was a good choice.
Okay, I'll call the vote. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, administration, so our CIO.
Just a few things to update council. So the AMO delegations were completed on Friday. So we put in 3 delegation requests, one for Maynard Public School, one for the Blue Church on and off ramp, and then we've added a new one in regards to Hydro One and the concerns in regards to our infrastructure investment moving forward for Eastern Ontario to ensure that not only Augusta, but Prescott and Eversburg Cardinal has the power capacity for future developments and for future expansion. So with the cabinet shuffle, that might be a good opportunity to get in front of the new minister, Lecce, to have a discussion about hydro and the investment. Mayor already talked about the forest training. Just to give council an update on the short-term rental bylaws. So our solicitor has reviewed the bylaw. We're hoping to meet with the solicitor this week to go over the comments. We anticipate to have a final draft to council for June 24th for review and approval. And the contest for our Maynard Public School for the Name a Truck has closed. So over the next week or two, we'll be coordinating, getting things back to the school before the school year is over. And we'll make sure we keep council and staff up to date, because we'd like to do probably some sort of a announcement or media release at the school with our local trustee and everything. So stay tuned for that.
I know Deputy Mayor Winans, I think, is kind of leading this. You leave when?
I leave June 29th.
Yeah. So school is done, I think, June 26th, so we want to do it before that, so.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to
Yep.
share.
Absolutely. And that's everything there.
Okay, good. Okay, staff reports. Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Winans, seconded by Councillor Pate, be resolved that council appoints the attached statement of revenue and expenditures as of May 31st for information. So does anybody have any questions? Councilors? All right, I got two. Should always have questions about finances. I know the chief isn't here, but I was looking at the 83% variance fire revenue, much higher than anticipated. I just got to ask where the revenue came from.
Yeah, so that's the new agreement we have with Firemark. So as there's fires and stuff, we now work with Firemark through their insurance companies to collect our costs for going into the fire. So that's where you're seeing a lot of that revenue now.
So we actually got a check.
So we've invoiced and stuff like that. We're still working with, that number might be adjusted based on what we end up getting with the insurance company, but that's the full hit right now.
Yeah, and just to add to that, it's not something that you would budget for, because you don't know how much
No.
you're gonna get. So that's why it may look skewed for now, but until we get all the information.
Okay,
Yeah, it'll depend on the person's policy, and there might be a certain threshold or a certain limit. But what we do is we invoice out the total costs, and then from there we work with the insurance company. So if everything goes well, this would be the revenue that we recognize.
does that go into our reserves?
That will go into the reserves at the end of the year based on the report that will come from our treasurer if council chooses to.
Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna question a gift. I just figured it might be too good to be true.
You got a question, both. Pluses and minuses, you got a question. Have you seen our last 3 audits?
Question, don't take it away.
Okay, the next one I had was, where was it? Computer costs, administration. Yeah, administration. Over annual budget set for computer expenses by 40,000. So I realize, from working in the private sector, no matter what you put down for computer expenses, you're gonna blow it out every year.
Yeah.
So is that one of these cases?
Yeah, so certainly that's one of the cases, but one thing that we're finding now is as we're streamlining budgets, is that things in the past that might have been kind of buried in other GLs, we're trying to capture everything in one pot now. So that's where we're seeing some of those discrepancies. But Mark and I have kind of started going through them all, and we'll probably bring a report back to council based on just the overall computer expenses, because we expect that number might even be a little bit higher than 40,000. We don't know yet. But that captures all of our software, our licensing, even our building department, our building software, our complaint system. It's everything. Whereas before, there might have been some stuff buried under public works, under
Okay.
contract services, kind of stuff that we just didn't know. So this will capture everything. So moving forward, we're able to actually budget what we need.
Okay,
So you get increased revenue on one side and you get increased expenses on the other, right? So.
no, it don't work that way. Gets back to budgeting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but all it takes is like a server to go or something, and then bang, you're,
Well, and there was
one
one
already.
that was $10,000 that we did not expect that had to be replaced. And you can't wait for that for the following year. It needs to be done.
oh,
Right, so.
no, understood.
Yeah.
Okay,
But we'll bring back a full report, kind of itemizing all the costs and where we anticipate to go.
okay. Anybody else have any questions on the finances?
Worship, just to add to that, in relation to the 2023 audit, I've spoken to the auditors and all of the field work is done. The CAO and myself will be meeting with Jamie and MNP sometime in June and hopefully come back to council with financial statements,
The first meeting in July.
probably sometime in July. Yeah.
Well, that's great. No, I was really glad to see them in here. I think it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks
So
ago.
they kind of kept their word, you know, and.
And they were here every day, I
Yeah,
think, or they missed one day, so they were here, I think, 3 or 4 days, so.
quiet bunch. but
Yeah, they are,
were in here, so. Good. Might help to turn it over here, eh? So, moved by Deputy Mayor Wyman, second by Councillor Pape. I didn't read this already, did I? Be resolved, the council accepts the attached statement of revenue and expenditures as of May 31st, 2024 for information. Any other questions? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Good format, by the way, too, so thank you. Next, we have operations. And first one is report 2024-066, moved by Councillor Page, seconded by Deputy Mayor Wines. Be resolved that council received this report for information purposes and that council authorized staff to reduce the speed limits on Fourth Concession Road from County Road 18 to 100 meters west of Downville limits to 60 kilometers. Any discussion, comments? If I remember correctly, this is the one that's by the ballpark, right?
Yeah.
And because people were parking on both sides or something like that?
People park on both sides, the main parking lots across the road from,
Yeah.
and now with the playground there, there's a lot more families coming out and, you know, even with cars on both sides of the road, they don't slow down coming down that stretch. I think, John, you mentioned, what was the top speed you recorded on that road? Do you remember?
105.
So, yeah, that's fairly fast for a small residential area.
Okay, anything else? I'll call the question, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Report 2024-067, moved by Deputy Mayor Wyman, seconded by Councillor Pate. Be it resolved that council received this report for information purposes and the council authorized staff to reduce the speed limits of Bisselltown Road from County Road 15 to 100 meters west of Spicer Road to 60 kilometers an hour. Discussion? Anybody has anything to say? All right, I'll say a few words. My experience with speed limits, it's a lot easier to decrease them, but if you try to increase them, it's going to be very, very difficult. And anyway, I was originally dead set against this. I think I totally mentioned that to you because it was just one person complaining. So anyway, staff, is it more than one resident complaining? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. So we did go back and looked in our access complaint system. We've got about 3 to 4 over the last couple of years that have complained. And it's not only just about the speeding, but it's about the increased number of cars that are now being shown on the roadway. And because it's the conduit between, you know, Augusta and getting to Brockville. I know John new asphalt, and John's got some of the speeds that are actually quite alarming as far as how fast we're going. And there's the area that he's looking at is very highly dense with residential. And that's the area that we're focusing on. And as I said, 3 to 4 have come forward that we have documentation on so far.
Yeah, I just, it's a thing with me, and I will not support something that's only where one person complains. I fell into that situation before, and I should never let it happen. Anyway, I'm learning as I go along. So I feel this is one of the cases too, because I've asked 2 residents on that road. They both walk the road. They said, yes, people go fast, they go fast. They say it depends, if I come out of my house and I gotta be somewhere, I'm gonna drive. And that's exactly what they said, but at the same time, it's not so much the speed, it's just people they can be going slow, but they just don't get over. So that's was one of the issues. With my own experience, traveling County Road 2 every day, 3 or 4 times a day, usually back and forth to Prescott, the people that wanted that speed limit or decrease, to 60 kilometers are the people speeding. Because I followed every one of them to their own home. And I approached the 2 of them, and they said, yes, we were speeding, but it's us. And I just shake my head. So, but I'm sorry, but that's the whole thing. And yes, I'm probably like that too. So if I get in my vehicle and I know it's my road, I know what it's like, I know every inch of it, I'm gonna speed. So changing speed limits, I'm very cautious personally about it, so.
Well, I do think there is a bit of an advantage along the speed limit. I know myself, I like to drive fast. The speed limit is 60. If the speed limit is 60, I won't go over 90. Because you get 40 over, you could lose your vehicle. So, but when the speed limit is 80, I can go 120. So I do slow down, just not as much as I want, but I do slow down.
Are these you?
But your common sense follows the provinces because they post the signs 100, but it's okay to go 110.
I passed a cop doing 125, so I'm 401, and you never even me.
All right, enough of our internal politics here. Anyway, that's the situation I'm getting. I know Councilor Henry is waiting too. So, Councilor Henry.
Through your worship, does these reports go back to the police service board so they know that those are problem areas? Because
unless we mention.
We had mentioned the Bisseltown one last year and second concession at the police service board last year.
But they're on County Road 2 all the time and they hardly they get people, but it's nonstop, so.
Well, I think it's helpful to reduce the speeds, but it also has to be enforced. That's the other problem.
Exactly.
My road is 50, they don't do 50.
Yeah.
No.
But I'm telling you, it's the people that live on the road.
Speed, I don't speed.
You only have
On
like
my-
100 meters to get off the road.
So anyway, I just wanted to say my piece. Because you vote this in, remember? We all have to stick together, but anyway, you may get questions on the next 2 here. All right, so any other comments? All in favor? Okay, carried, thank you. Next is report 2024-071, speed limit reduction. Moved by Councilor Page, second by Deputy Mayor Winans. Be resolved that Council receive this report for information purposes and that Council authorize staff to reduce the speed limits on Second Concession Road and 650 meters east of County Road 15 to Rocky Road and 1 kilometer east of Rocky Road to North Campbell Road to 6 kilometers. I just a question for the CAO.
Yes.
Are all our resolutions for information purposes when we have to vote on it?
There'll be the bylaw, there'll be a bylaw that comes forward.
Okay.
in your agenda. It should be
Yeah, I was
later on.
thinking counties, information
Yep.
you don't have to vote, you don't vote on.
No, but yeah, this should,
It's-
yeah, really, it should be just the information part probably should be out of it and just,
Yeah, that's, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Do you understand that? We're just trying to better ourselves, you know, that's all.
Yeah.
Because information reports, basically, it's.
There's no
information.
direction.
There's no direction given.
Correct.
Instead here, they're asking for direction.
Yeah.
Right, so. Sorry, but I just wanted to bring that up.
No, good question.
It wasn't a 4S question. It was just, you know. So, any discussion on that?
We'll create a policy.
Any discussion on the, whatever I just wrote here?
Nope.
All right, thank you. All in favor? Gary, thank you.
That was for the second session.
Yeah.
All right, report 2024-068 severance, moved by Deputy Mayor Wyden, seconded by Councillor Pate. Be resolved that council recommend to the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville Consent Granting Authority that consent application B-47-24 be approved, subject to 6 conditions of approval as detailed in staff report 2024-068. So, right, discussion. Yes.
Yeah, the PAC meeting had no problems with this. It was passed okay. They're the ones that have the greenhouses just before Brian Brophy's place, and they've done a lot to improve and clean up the property, and they bought the house that goes with it, so they want to sever off and sell that house, and then they're planning on building a new house for themselves.
Okay. Anybody else? Does our planner want to add anything? No?
No, your worship, unless anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
No? Okay, I'll call question, all in favor? Carrie, thank you. Next one is moved by Councillor Henry, seconded by Councillor Pape. Be it resolved that council recommends to the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville Consent Granting Authority that consent application B-50-24 be approved, subject to 4 conditions of approval as detailed in staff report 2024-069. Again, any comments? Yes, Deputy Mayor Wyden.
This is severance that will allow Robinsons to separate that property from what they want to sell to Penzio. So this is a whole holdup with that. They didn't realize that the properties were joined together because they get 2 separate tax rolls, tax bills. They thought they were separate.
Planner, want to say anything?
No, nothing.
Good. Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Carrie, thank you. Okay, protective services, note of motions. Anyone have a notice of motion? Okay, move on to bylaws. And moved by Councillor Pape, seconded by Councillor Henry. Be it resolved that bylaw number 3714-2024 being a bylaw to restrict the rate of speed for motor vehicles on a road portion within the municipality be read first time, second time, third time, and be enacted as read. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Moved by Councillor Henry, seconded by Councillor Pape, be it resolved that bylaw number 3717-2024 being a bylaw to authorize the acceptance of certain deeds of land and to assume and dedicate the said lands for road purposes be read a first time, second time, and third time, be enacted as read. All in favor? Thank you, Carrie. Moved by Councillor Pape, seconded by Councillor Henry, be it resolved that bylaw number 3718-2024 being a bylaw to appoint a building inspector for the Township of Augusta be read a first time, second time, and third time, and enacted as read. Any questions, comments on that? I'm just trying to remember where I read. Yeah, that tells me. Then did we put a name to it? Daniel.
Dan.
I thought we did that, a
It's
couple
on
of
my-
councils meetings.
Yeah.
I guess we did. Fence viewers? Okay, thank you. All right, so does everybody know that was, of course, Daniel, but, okay, good. Any questions? Yes, Steve?
Just for clarification, just for anybody listening, whatever, but, so Daniel, we do share him as our bylaw officer with the town of Prescott. He does do some building inspection stuff for Prescott. He is going through his courses right now, so this just gives us the ability that if Karen's off, that it gives us a little bit of coverage if need be for a certain inspection or something like, or stuff like that. So he's still doing the bylaw, but this just provides some supplement.
Okay, very good. Call, question, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, announcements. So, yes, Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, I was at Roebuck this morning, but it was raining out, so they changed it to this afternoon. But War Ranch was there with Vanessa, and I was there from 2:30 to 5. And she's an amazing little girl and way more patience than I had. Because they kept doing the takes over and over and over. They didn't have the camera right, they didn't have this right. She's just a trooper. Near the end, she was getting a little testy, but I told the lady, I said, I would have told you, you do it right the first time. Don't come back and ask me to do it again.
This is like you're not saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, it was the same little girl then.
Okay. Any other announcements? Yes.
Your worship, the firemen's games are this weekend in Prescott,
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday, I believe, for sure Saturday.
Yeah, the grand opening is Friday night at the pop-ups, and I think it's all at the Lido, right?
I believe
Is
so.
the,
Yeah, they're not very well advertised.
No.
no.
It's hard to
Got it
find
on
information.
Okay. Any others? I have Port Days, which is June 22nd. So the mayor has certainly invited everybody to there. I think it's, I forget the timings, but it's the afternoon anyway, or 10 to 3 or something like that. But they got quite a bit of activity there. So bring the family, whatever. It's all free. So anyway, so at Port Days. Okay, any questions on the agenda for the press? We don't have any press. We're normal. Any questions, agenda for the public? Lori, you got anything?
No.
Okay, thank you. There's no closed session to my knowledge. So moved by Councillor Henry, seconded by Councillor Pate, be resolved that bylaw number 3719-2024 confirm the proceedings of council of the Township of Augusta at its meeting held on June 10th, 2024, be read a first time, second time, and a third time, be enacted as read. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And moved by Councillor Pape, seconded by Councillor Henry, be resolved this council do now adjourn at 6:43 p.m. until June 24th, 2024 at 6 p.m. or the call of mayor subject to need. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much, everybody.
So Tanya, Healing Orr on Saturday at the
I
fire
did hear that,
inspector.
yeah.
I just put a thing saying that they were, I didn't know that.
They think there was limited tickets, so.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
it's not.
I don't think it's at the Leo, is
It's
that?
at